Good morning, amazing soul sisters. Yet again, I'm here with my bestie, Miss Connie Rose. Good morning, Miss Connie.
Good morning.
I'm so excited about our conversation today. Are you?
Oh, I am. It's interesting how the universe conspires to give you exactly what you need to make the impact you're here to make.
Again? Another day of that? Is that what we get to do?
And yet another day. Yes.
So the question we have for you today is, are you ready to expand your capacity for love? Mm.
Yeah.
And we're reading out of the book called The Frequency. We're going to unpack, unfold a little bit more of that. This singular chapter has really had us be in a conversation all month
Yeah, it
through
has.
the end of the year. I'm sure we have a little bit more left, like a little bit more juice.
Yeah.
We're going to close out 2023 in a powerful, profound way, raising the vibration not only of ourselves, but the frequency of the planet, such that you are lit up and enlivened and touched, moved, and inspired in your life. And let's get into it. Let's dive into it, Connie.
Yeah, this is good. So last week we kind of talked about like when relationships end and there's the soul has had reached all it has needed to learn and you
Yes.
could bless that relationship and send it on its way, right?
Yes. And
And
like the transformative, if we're just talking principles, distinctions for a
yep,
living, that really is what we call completion, right? Like we just get complete. Like, thank you for sending this person into my life. That the work that we were to do together is complete.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this
This week
we're
is the
now
good news, I hope.
this is the good news. Now we're going to be talking about the lighter, fun to me,
Yeah,
fun side of
that was a
things.
little heavy.
Yes, it was deep. We went deep right away. We went deep. So this is definitely more about love and light. So I think you're going to enjoy this. So since relationships are a reinforcement and magnification of the traits and vibrations of each individual participant, it stands to reason that when two people are in their home frequencies at the same time, like being aligned, right, in resonance with the divine, um, the relationship field will expand its capacity for love
Mhm.
beyond what we've ever thought was normal. Who wants normal?
Not me.
Normal is highly overrated.
Yes.
Remember, home frequencies is open heartedness. It's feeling the way you love to feel, loving the way you love to love. When both partners are in their home frequencies, differences of personality, style, and opinion hardly matter. You want to like and understand each other and are always ready to laugh. It's hard to be angry at a toddler, for example, when he's in the middle of a spontaneous giggling jag, because mostly it's coming from the child's pure and joyful home frequency. It's so powerful that all you can do is join in. Home frequencies are all that way when they're shared. They create common ground because everyone's home frequency is slightly different version of love. They're all compatible, like notes in a chord. Every relationship field has a home frequency that comes from the merged home frequencies or hearts of both people. When your relationship field starts resonating at its home frequency, you and your partner will rarely move out of attunement and love will grow steadily. A relationship's home frequency is that state of mutual open heartedness in which you could feel the compassionate, higher sanity of wired together and feel safe.
Mm.
Just think of how it feels when both of you are warm hearted, authentic, and spontaneous. How does that interaction unfold? When your hearts are both open, both of you want nothing more than to support each other in becoming your best selves. When you're in a relationship's home frequency, you clearly see the frequency matching process. You could feel the specific issues or traits that are being activated between you and understand the subtle dynamics of how the healing and clearing process will probably work and how you complement each other's destiny expression.
Mm.
This is juicy.
Yeah, sign me up for
The
that.
em- yeah, the empathy created allows you to become more telepathic and precognitive, reading each other's minds and sensing future direction and events. So like this is what's going on. Like this is what's going like in my life now. Like, and I'm sure same thing, right? Over with you because we tend to cycle together.
Oh,
Surface issues may sometimes cause you to feel that you and your partner are incompatible, which is really a not compatible of compassion, which is an interesting take on it, right?
Wait, say that again. That's a writer downer. What?
Surface issues may sometimes cause you to feel that you and your partner are incompatible, literally not capable of compassion. So that's a clue, right? Like when you are no longer feeling compassionate towards whoever you're in this relationship with, whether
And
it's
we're not talking, this could be business partners, this could be
for
friends,
sure.
this is coworkers, this is
Yes.
employers, this is your partner, your wife, your husband.
Child.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you notice a lack of, and you're not feeling capable of compassion with the other person,
Yeah.
or even money, even health, even your body.
Yes.
I mean, think about that when you're not capable of compassion for your own self.
Yeah. How's that gonna go?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you look for the soul vibration in the other person and value the way the relationship feels when it's in its home frequency, your heart then opens and notions of incompatibility then collapse.
Mm.
And I think it really boils down to, we talk about this a lot, like when we remember who you are, like, you know, it's easy for me to, like, I don't forget who you are. Now I forget who I am.
Ditto. I mean, for myself.
Right. It is so easy to remember who you are,
Yes.
you know, because I don't have any itty bitty shitty committee in my head about you, just about
Right.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. And when we bring compassion to our
Yeah.
heart and ultimately our mind, that's when we can disappear the disresonance, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
And have
dissonance.
access to the resonance,
Yes. Yeah.
the realignment. That's the tool. So compassion, what I'm hearing you say is compassion is the tool to getting back to the alignment.
Well, and it starts really with compassion towards yourself, which is
Oh, of
empathy.
course. Yeah.
Empathy towards self before empathy with others is
Hence the
healthy.
reason we even did the 35 align challenge.
Right. Right. Exactly. So if you stay in your home frequency when the other person has forgotten theirs temporarily, it makes it much easier to shift out of negativity. As fear clears from the shared relationship field over time, the relationship increasingly becomes about the experience of soul through joy, creativity, and just plain being together. In romantic primary relationships, oh, here we're going to talk about sex. You ready?
Yes.
In romantic primary relationships, sex can play an important role in helping the partners shift out of fear-based reactions and recenter in their home frequencies. It can serve as a sacred space where the superficial concerns of the world are laid aside and the important, open-hearted, trusting, cherishing, playful state of awareness can be revalidated.
Come on. Who loves makeup sex? Who creates fights just so you can have makeup sex?
That's funny. It sounds like that might be, is that, do you know anything about
I may or may not know.
that? That's so funny. Most of us cannot do all the clearing, balancing, and transforming just in our imagination. We need the experience of soul saturation to be physically grounded. Sex is one of the ways to have that experience.
Nice.
In addition, it can balance the internal yin and yang energy for both people, and in its more refined expression, can connect both of you to a higher unifying experience of loving and being loved. So that's like that's the divine purpose
Of sex.
right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, so you cannot be in your brain. Oh, I don't know. Oh, let me just speak for myself. You cannot not be in your brain and have an amazing sexual, experience. You have to like literally be in your feelings and your emotions and your body. And yeah, you're just transported to another place, space
Yeah.
and time. I mean,
Well, and what our listeners may or may not know is when you have sex with somebody, you literally connect all of your chakras to that other person. So if that other person is not somebody that you want to be connected to energetically, you might want to consider what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
saying.
well,
If unhealthy feeling habits are creeping into your sex life, it's especially important to clear them. You must have a reliable, safe sanctuary with another person, much as you have in your own meditation or private creative time. The greater the home frequency in your relationship, the more quickly both of you will reveal your inner truth and access hidden talents.
mm.
A home frequency combines the intent of both of you to radiate your best stuff and become a super saturated field that can materialize high quality experiences from a wider wisdom base for both of you. Then your relationship becomes a path to a truly awakened life.
Mm.
Isn't that juicy?
Well, I'm present to that's the life I'm living. So yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So here's some qualities of a home frequency relationship. Um, in home frequency relationships, people engage equally, making time for each other and meet each other halfway, are openly affectionate, thoughtful, anticipatory, and appreciative, are honest and trustworthy, reciprocate with good deeds, adapt to each other's needs, and alternate taking leading and supporting roles as necessary. People want the best for each other and support the expression of each other's soul and destiny.
Mm.
Dissolve unhealthy emotion and feeling habits like blame, jealousy, secrecy, and victim thinking. Are committed to keeping their hearts open and returning to open heartedness when either or both of them backslide into fear. It's holding that space.
Yeah.
Know that they are both dealing with the same issues when one person brings up a problem. Because, we know it's a mirror, right? Communicate about what scares, pleases, and motivates them. Seek growth and evolve naturally through moment to moment sharing and experiences that stretch the participants' comfort zones. And honor the ebb and flow of the need for space, intimacy, and social involvement. So it goes on to talk about giving and receiving from your home frequency. When you remain centered in your home frequency, giving and receiving take on an almost thrilling and magical quality. You no longer feel obliged to give or receive. There is no more tit for tat, giving to get, pleasing to get, or controlling what and how you receive. You may find yourself giving generously without a first or second thought and receiving things you didn't even know you wanted or needed. It occurs to you to do something for your partner, and it turns out to be just what they needed. They give what feels pleasurable to them, and it's your next puzzle piece. When you give and receive from a relationship's home frequency, the shared field regulates what it needs or what needs to be known and done, putting ideas into your head and motives in your body. Giving and receiving are poles of a single cycle of activity. Both giving and receiving, the yin and the yang, the masculine and feminine, right? Catalyze something from the field for both people to notice and experience. Both roles, the giver and the receiver, facilitate self-discovery and let the partners feel themselves in an expanded way. Me plus the gift equals a new me. I remember one Christmas when I'm gonna skip over that story. In our transformed perception, because everything is intimately interconnected, you cannot give anything away or lose anything by giving. Giver, gift, and receiver are all aspects of you, existing in the space of you. By consciously giving or receiving, you activate the experience the gift provides in both of you. In truth, there is only increase, as both of you notice that both of you had the experience of the gift. Here's a quote. Once individuals link together, they become something different. Relationships change us, reveal us, evoke more from us. Only when we join with others do our gifts become visible, even to ourselves. That's by Margaret Wheatley and Myron Kellner Rogers. So that leads us to the next section, which is a relationship home frequency reveals its purpose. When
Well,
you center,
hang on. Let's
yeah,
underscore kind of just what like recap. So this goes
yeah,
back
yeah, yeah.
this goes back to like the law of reciprocity, right? Like what we like so often, I think, and I know I can slip into this when particularly when I don't take care of myself. Like
Yeah.
when my tank is empty, I have nothing to give. And so then I fall into like being stingy, right?
Right.
And so when we slow down, we can actually fill our own cups up. We have so much to give, which is an overflow of our innate being, which then what's going to happen is we're just going to be flooded with like joy and light. And we just magically find happy people to,
Yep.
to work and play with. So I just wanted to kind of underscore, like you've heard all of this before, and it's really to get present is it like I'm always like committed to fill my joy jar up such that I can overflow, to give you, gift you, leave you better than I found you, even if it's I met you in the elevator, right?
Yep. Yep.
I've got three floors with you on the elevator. I want to like leave you my presence, and if I say anything to you in those 3 seconds that you're like, wow, my day is better. Or people walking into our store, right? I want to leave you better than I found you. And that comes back like tenfold. So it is this give, get, give. But and hold on. I want to interrupt that. As I was saying that, I thought something came in. Like we don't be giving to get. Like that's the opposite.
Because that energy will impact everything.
Yeah, look out what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because you're really giving
yeah.
Expectations.
Yeah, this for that. This is not that.
Correct. That's what, yeah. It's not tit for tat.
Yeah, not tit for tat. So this really is my cup overflows. I sprinkle onto you, you get lit up and awaken your gifts, your home frequency, and then we magically get to see what we create together. So that's really the conversation we're talking about. I just wanted to kind of underscore that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's where the juice starts,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
So a relationship's home frequency reveals its purpose. Like once you get to that point, once you could freely, generously, and I loved what you said, like you make sure your joy jar is filled up.
Yeah.
You know, before we got on here, I was like, I told, you know, you were working on your frequencies and I've done my frequencies for the day. Like my morning routine is at about an hour at least. And I know it's worth it for me to get up, whatever time I need to get up to get that in before I start the day.
Yeah.
Because then I'm not fully, you know, I'm not aligned with the commitment that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's so important. Thanks for bringing that up. When you center in a relationship's home frequency, even if it's a relationship with someone you barely know, you just talked about that.
Yeah.
It acts as a baseline of wisdom that you can use to find insights about why you've crossed paths or come together. From that calm, neutral, loving perspective, you can look for themes that apply to both people. After that, the shared field you both occupy will educate you by providing intuitions about how the learning and clearing process between you is likely to unfold.
This is funny.
So,
this is so funny. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
What had my unconscious mind bring up the elevator and 3 floors? Because guess what happened? Guess how I met my husband?
Well, I know how you met your husband. I remember where you fell in love with your husband.
Yeah, it was on the elevator. So isn't that hilarious? Oh my goodness.
You were sharing your frequencies.
And something aligned. Ah!
You are resonating.
Yeah. Oh my Lanta. That's hilarious. Okay, carry on.
Uh-huh. Let's take another look at the folks who populate your world. Even the actors and characters you notice in the media and in books. So I know you like, especially this time of year, all the Lifetime movies.
Oh, Hallmark is like it's yes, that is my go-to every night.
Right. So there's no accident that the characters, it's saying even the characters that you're noticing have some information for you. The themes they represent give clues about what the souls you want to both pay attention to. So you watched those movies with Coach, right? With Kim?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Remember, if one person in a pair notices something, it's relevant for both. Are your friends trying to make big money or struggling to avoid bankruptcy? You all may be ready to shift gears in a way of becoming successful in which fear isn't a factor. Is your partner bored and complaining about their position in life? You both may be ready for a breakthrough to a new level of expression. Are you reading lots of Jane Austen books? Maybe you and your partner need more romance, spunk, or a simpler life. Perhaps you're impressed by some high quality people whose lives are balanced, productive, and making a difference in the world. You're probably ready to integrate these qualities so you can shift into an expanded phase in your own life and relationship. So it's just curious to look around, like what's showing up, you know?
Yeah.
What if you're in a relationship with a person who reveals a disgusting character trait? Is that a terrible thing in you too? To find the purpose in a tricky situation like this, you have to drop into underlying emotions and feeling habits. The behavior you dislike may be a way the other person medicates an emotional wound and that they're not in touch with, such as rejection or an experience of overwhelming terror. The parallel is,
Hang on.
yeah,
Medicates an emotional wound. Write that down. That's gonna wow. Go, carry on. Sorry, just had to
that's
like
all it is. You know, they talk about hurt people,
yes.
and loving people love people.
Yes. Just take a deep breath on that one.
Yeah, because all that really is they're medicating that wound
Mm, mm,
unless until they don't,
right. To
right?
make a decision. Yes.
And we're going to get to that in the next paragraph.
Oh,
After,
good. Giddy
yeah.
up.
The parallel is that you may have a similar wound that you deal with in an opposite manner. For example, with two people who've been smothered by inappropriate sexual energy from a parent, whether it be actual physical sexual abuse or telepathic sexual abuse, one may become promiscuous and sexually aggressive while the other becomes prim and proper. When they're attracted to each other, the relationships may seem crazy and they'll likely blame the other for acting in a way that destabilizes their own position. By recentering in the relationship's home frequency, they could find their suppressed memories and common vulnerability. Then the understanding comes about how they're playing opposite roles and how they could easily be in each other's shoes. Then healing can follow. Because
Mm,
here's the big, like, crescendo for the point of this section today. You heal others by healing yourself.
amen.
Both your casual and intimate relationships contain information about how you're growing and healing, and they can teach you how to serve others and work in helping and healing professions in a more effective way. The more you include other people inside of you as aspects of you, like that mirror we talk about, the more telepathic and empathetic you'll be. The more empathetic you are, the more you'll be able to pinpoint the causes of other people's pain. If you're unconsciously merged with them, it'll feel like it's your pain and you'll want to get rid of it by healing and fixing them.
Mm.
The truth is, it is that it is your pain if you're feeling it. Though doctors work to heal physical bodies, total healing of energetic and emotional wounds, which precipitate physical injury and illness, by the way, can only be accomplished by each person working inside the laboratory of their own life and body. Physician, heal thyself. Healing your own wound by doing it in another person cannot work.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. And healing another person's wound for them cannot work. The healing won't take because there is no conscious choice or ownership of the experience by the other person. Because we occupy mutually inclusive fields of awareness and energy, any healing, this is the great news, any healing you do in yourself heals a proportion of the wound in your partner and everyone else in your field for that matter by raising the vibration that you all share. Which is really why we're even doing this podcast. Really.
Yeah.
As you clear your own abandonment wound, for example, you don't help the other person's wound. You don't hold the other person's wound in place by matching it. Like once it gets free.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that last week. Like if you were working with some people on your team and like they're bumping up against
Right.
fill in the blank, an issue, a limiting belief, and you're like, that doesn't happen in my world because it's not in my resonance. So
Correct.
going back to if you have issues with money, your environment is going to have issues with money. If you clear that, guess what? You open up the floodgates to actually be the space for others clearing that.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly what this is saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like we go, and I think that, Connie, that's one of the amazing things that I've always loved about you and us is we are the what do you call us? The like pave waiver, the what's the phrase you always say?
Well, Ben says we're early adapters.
Early adapters, yeah. And in being the early adapters, we like go through the portal first, ultimately to prove that it can be done, and then to be the conduit for others having it. So yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. I'm telling you, this is the juice.
Well, and this is really like, I think, we strap on, like we were the willing ones to strap on the armor.
Yeah. Like the
Right?
pioneers.
We are the pioneers. We are the way showers. We are and so ultimately, ladies, what we're saying here is like, come do this with us.
Yeah.
Right? It can be done. We are the space of it. We've done the inner work. We want you to have everything and anything you want for yourself in your life on the outside of that electric fence, and that electric fence is our comfort zone. And so, like, allow us to be the space of you clearing whatever's been holding you back, because we've gone before you and done the work.
Are still doing the work.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read the sentence again because it goes into the next sentence. As you clear your own abandonment wound, for example, you don't help hold the other person's wound in place by matching it. Your partner can more easily then choose to let go of holding their pain and making it real. Your personal vibration is the catalyst for direct body-to-body communication. Healing is really non-pressured telepathic communication between souls and bodies. It's as if a healthy person's body and personal vibration say to the unhealthy person, here's an example of a system in attunement. I'm resonating with you in love, and you can create your own version of this whenever you want. You offer your healed wound for them to experience if they're ready. The two bodies will negotiate a transfer of the subtle pattern of how the healing could happen and how it might feel afterward. Your partner will either gratefully step into the space for healing you provided, or will leave and find someone else who matches and validates their pain. This, of course, is up to them. Being healed or being wounded.
Wait, say that again. This is up to them.
Yes. Being healed or being wounded is an identity choice.
Yeah.
Being healed or wounded is an identity
choice.
choice.
Yeah.
So
let's drink that one down.
I know. Like, take a deep breath, take a little sip.
Wow. So
isn't that good?
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so interesting how it's showing up.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's juicy. Well, and it's so interesting. I mean, if I really look at how I'll say journey with my former husband was, I can actually see everything you just talked about play out. In the beginning, it was, I'm going to fix me, and then I'm going to fix him. And then I can't fix you. I'm going to come back to me. And so I did more inner work. And then it began to get to a point where, I was resonating and vibrating on a particular plane. And it was like I was jumping, come with me, come with me, come with me, come with me.
I know you were. Yeah.
Are you going to come with me or not? And when I really got, no, he's not, I knew my soul's purpose had more. And so I had to set that relationship free such that I can live what I came here to do and be and have. And doesn't mean that I don't love him, didn't love him, like none of that. It just meant like he came in for the lessons and the learnings, and for me to go, really, Lord, going, are you going to do this or not? Because you have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You do have a choice. And I'll always bring it back to the question. I remember, I'm in the bathroom for safety, and I've called you,
I remember where I was in my house when you called me.
and you were literally like, Shannon, how long are you going to put up with this? And while it felt like the death of me to give all that up, if I stayed, it would have been the death of me.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it
And,
almost was the death of me.
and your daughter.
And yeah, and I can see that play out in my workplace as well. I can see, like, so just look in your own life. Where are you really giving yourself away, lowering your frequency to match theirs, to not disrupt like this thought of how you thought it should go? And it always comes back to like how, what has you so stuck to a life, or what has you so loyal to a life that keeps you stuck? Because it is that exact question that will get you off of that wall.
Yeah. Well, and I remember many times, like, so I asked you that question, and then,
For years. You asked me that question for years.
well, and then now, like in the last, I'm gonna say year, like a year ago, was how much longer are you going to tolerate this, Connie?
Yeah.
Same, different details.
Yes.
Same conversation.
Yeah. And isn't that beautiful that we got, I'm like, you prepared me so I can support you.
Back and forth. Like we have this, like, yeah.
Yin yang relationship.
Yeah, like the
And
figure
that's
eight. Too,
ultimately what relationships are for. If they're like going in the direction of resonance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Isn't that beautiful?
Ooh, that's deep and
Yeah.
juicy. Anything else before we complete on this amazing, masterful
Well,
day?
I think it's such a great, I hope people listen to this before the holidays time with their family, because, Christmas is coming up and New Year's. We'll have another podcast in between there, but but before you hear us again, you'll have experienced most likely some, at least here around us, and like Christmas is here, and there's all kinds of expectations you could have of how that goes.
Yeah.
Or you could have a little fun experiment,
Yeah.
and get really grounded in your own home frequency of love and open-heartedness,
Yeah.
and see who resonates, and like if they don't. So I remember being in this prayer group, and Fran Piper is one of my spiritual mentors. I love her so much. And she said to me, when there's a problem, in quote problem, right? Send love to that person. And I'm like, that's the last thing I wanted to do. I think I was like 25 when she told me this. Send love to the person. She said, because the way resonance works, either they will respond to the love, or they won't be able to handle it and they'll just leave. And it's like, I have known that half my life, and it really is true. And so, and it's okay. It is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you go into this time with your loved ones, stay grounded to who you are,
Yeah.
and the light and the love that you are, and that why you are here. And as you heal those parts of ourselves, um, that need to be healed, that why we came to be here to heal, like you said, you then gift the people around you the space and the grace to then also come into alignment with that.
Yeah.
That's the best gift you could give anyone, this holiday season. That's what I say.
Yes. 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 Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we just end on that.
Exactly.
I'll have 3 scoops of that, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's your homework
And a side of compassion.
for yourself. Empathy towards self and then others.
Awesome. Well, we love you, listeners. Please let us know what you are getting out of this conversation. Let us know how your holidays go in the comments. Like it, tag it, post it, share it. And you know what we say? Get in the car.
Get in the car.